everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Mel and this is my spreadsheet slinging husband, Dean. We are going to be going over February's numbers in this video.
If you're new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. We obviously appreciate you guys. We do these videos for a couple of reasons. One, it's to tell you that this is very much possible for anyone to do. And two, just to show you the transparency and the actual amount of money that you can make selling whatever you can find value in online. So just before we get started, a couple of footnotes. One, we are not CPAs, we're not tax professionals, we're not telling you how to submit your taxes, we're not telling you how to do your taxes. We don't do that. We're just telling you what we're doing, and then what we're going to do is give that information to our tax expert, our CPA, and they're going to deal with it because that's what they do. What we do is we sell stuff on the internet and we make a profit.
And to put that in sort of a frame of reference, right now we have almost 1,000 listings. We have about 970 current active listings, and that did take a little bit of pushing because the more consistent you are at selling, the harder it is to reach that next level, because then you're just, as soon as you're listing, you're selling stuff, and you just have to constantly replenish that and add some to the back end. Also, we've been doing this for about 1.5 years now. So we didn't overnight go to making a bunch of money in a month. We built it up. And we have a great reference on our Instagram account. One of our photos shows about how many average listings we've done compared to our average listings, or average sales compared to our average listings.
Right, and we sell about 1% of our active inventory every single day. So if you have 1,000 active, quality, good listings at the right price points with the best pictures, items that are in demand, that have a high sell-through rate, right? It's not just having listings. Having listings is this myth of, well, I have a lot of listings, so I sell a lot. Well, that's kind of BS, because there's no reason to have a lot of listings. The only reason to have it is to scale your business, but you need to sell that stuff. Just having 3,000 listings, why? If you're not selling it, why have it? So we're very proud that, currently it's roughly 960, and in the last 90 days we've sold something like 700 items, right? So just keep that in mind. You have to sell this stuff. That's the whole purpose. It's not just to have listings. So with that intro, let us jump into the numbers and kind of walk you through it. This video is sponsored by us. It's sponsored by our spreadsheet that we use to calculate all of our numbers. That's available. There's a link below. You can go to the link below. You can click on our previous YouTube video. It's a 15-minute video. It walks you through the entire thing. We're going to do another video shortly on our YouTube channel explaining more of the power of the spreadsheet and how to use it. The spreadsheet is $50, and that $50 is a cost of doing business. So for your 2022 taxes, you would adjust $50 because you purchased a tool, and you would get a tax credit for that. So it's nearly a wash. Also, you'll be all set in getting all of your numbers prepared. It literally just takes about 5 to 10 minutes every single day, even less depending on how many sales you have, to update the spreadsheet. And look, on the 28th, the next day, we had all of our numbers ready and figured out automatically. So let's jump into them.
So before Adine starts covering these numbers, this is the first month where I was home working on eBay with more hours. So that is one thing we were anxious to see at the end of February. Did it affect our numbers at all, me working from home? Another thing to frame the month is that it's 28 days, so it's at least 2 days shorter than any other month. And we average right now maybe about $400 a day, I would say.
Yeah, and gross sales.
Yeah, so keep that in mind as well, that we lose those 2 days.
So in the month of February, we had 274 sales across 4 platforms. We sell everything on eBay. We cross-list all of our shoes and clothes on Poshmark. We dabble just a tiny bit into Etsy, and we're just exploring Facebook Marketplace. So 274 sales, which was the second best ever, and our best ever was 280 sales December of 2020.
Yeah, you can't really complain about that. 6 less sales. And if we had those extra 2 days, I'm very confident that we would have had a new record because again, our average sales are between 8 and 10 sales per day. So we would have crushed that new goal.
So next month we're gonna crush that, December 2020 for sure. Yes, it is. The cost of goods that we sold were $2,393. So that basically means that the inventory that we sold, we spent $2,393 on before we sold it on the internet.
Yeah.
Our gross sales were $13,914. So we sold $13,914 in 1 month, part-time plus. And Melinda, she only works on eBay 3 times a week. Typically one of those days is full sourcing.
Yeah, well, I have 3 dedicated days. I would not say that I only work on eBay every single day, including weekends. But those are the days where I get chunks of dedicated time for eBay. And we're very happy with that number because our highest record-breaking month was $13,996. So we were $80 short is all. We were like 1 sale away from tying our record, which was December, which of course is a big gift buying month.
Right.
So the fact that we pulled that off in a 28-day month when it's sort of like the blahs of winter,
right,
and credit cards were coming due, we are very pleased with that number.
If I were wearing a hat, I would take my hat off.
To us. Hats off to us.
Yes, hats off to us. So because eBay is our primary place that we sell on, we offer free shipping. We build that in. If you are curious how that works, we have a video explaining free shipping from our point of view. So shipping was our second biggest expense after cost of goods that we sold. So we spent $2,042 on shipping, which is fine. Again, it's built into the cost.
Yeah, it's just another, cost of doing business, really. So that goes into your spreadsheet, it calculates, you're getting paid for that shipping. It's not like you're paying for it out of pocket or anything like that. This is just the numbers that are gonna come out of our gross and leave us with the net profit of what's gonna go in our bank account.
Right, and that net profit is what you're going to be taxed on. So if you're not accounting for what you paid for the item or shipping, fees, etc., then you're paying way too much on taxes. And look, the government is happy to keep your money. They're not going to just be like, oh, you know what, you paid way too much, don't worry about it. No, they're going to keep it. So don't pay too much on taxes. The approximate fees paid, so we pay roughly 12.5% on eBay, 20% on Poshmark, 5% on Etsy, 5% on Facebook.
If it ships.
If it ships, and 0% local if we sell something local. So on average, you can average those percentages if you want, but we paid $1,736 in fees, and again, that's just part of doing business.
Yeah, when you see that number, you may think, oh my gosh, you spent almost $2,000 of your money paying another platform, but those platforms have users. So we are more than happy to pay that money for them to do the marketing, to have a customer service aspect to it. It's just another cost, right? So you get a lot of benefits for being able to use those platforms.
Yeah, you get millions and millions of people worldwide on eBay. You pay that fee, you get access to those people. If you were to try to do it yourself, good luck getting your brand out there, marketing, building a website, having a customer support team, technical support team.
All of that is possible, but it is harder.
Very hard.
So, and you're going to be responsible for managing all of it. So it's just another piece of the puzzle that you have to take into account if you want to sell on your own website.
And I remember, I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember people complaining about fees, and it's just like, there's nothing to complain about. You build it into your business model. I mean, it's just a cost. Would you rather not have millions of shoppers than sell it at your local garage sale? And good luck selling it to 15 people that might show up.
And if we're on the fence about something, we will run those numbers while we're looking it up, because we know, okay, so we'll times, what we think it'll sell for we times it by 0.87, which is how much we would get to keep after the fees, and then we subtract how much we think it's going to ship for, subtract out the cost of goods, and if that final number leaves us with something that we're happy with as a profit, then we know we should buy it or leave it if it's not where it needs to be.
Yeah, and it also depends on conditions, sell-through rate, things like that. But yeah, it's something
it's just something we plan into.
Of course, yeah. When we pick something up, we know roughly how much money we're going to make based off of thousands of data points that we've collected over a year and a half.
Right.
So the net profit was $7,742, and then the adjusted net profit was $7,588. So you have to keep in mind the adjusted is going to account for any returns or partial refunds.
Yeah, and returns are a little bit funny this month. So we got a total of 5 return requests. One of them has already been closed and the buyer never sent them back.
Yep.
So that's great. We have no cost for that return at all. That's not part of that adjusted number. We have another one that was returned already and we returned, no, two.
Two that we've already processed.
Came back and that we've already processed. And then the other 2 are pending. And one's actually kind of close to that 30 days that we haven't gotten back yet. So who knows?
We'll see. And if you don't know, on eBay, they have, I mean, it depends on the seller. So we write that we have a 30-day return policy for any reason, as long as the buyer pays for the shipping. So if they open up a return request and they don't send them back, then we keep the money and they can do nothing after 30 days. So it's perfect.
Right.
So the 2 returns that we did have that are accounted for, one we lost $8.93 on because we paid for shipping there, they paid for shipping back. We relisted the item, so we reallocated the cost of goods, so it's a $9 loss, which is fine. Again, just because you lose money, it's not a bad thing. Unless you're constantly losing money, then you got some work to do. The other one was pretty bad. It was $31.49. It was a big bulky item that was returned to us. But again, it's just $31.50. If you look into the total gross of almost $14,000, it's almost irrelevant. But it's good to capture those because again, you don't want to pay taxes on money that you did not make.
And just to clarify, that net adjusted is before taxes.
Right.
So we haven't accounted for the taxes coming out of that money yet.
In general, we set aside 30%, which is more than we pay, but we set aside 30% of our net profits into a bank account, and we know that we're gonna take majority of that and send it into the tax man. Beginning
this year, we're going to actually be doing quarterly payments into the IRS. That is something that you might want to look into if you make a healthy amount on eBay. My mom actually worked for the IRS, and she told me that if you do make a large sum and that's your primary source of income, you can actually be penalized if you don't pay quarterly. I'm not a tax person, I'm not a CPA, but it is something maybe you should ask your CPA or tax professional about and see if they can do quarterly statements. What our tax preparer does is we get the amounts and the slips all printed off with envelopes to send in. All we have to do is rip off the bottom of one of those sheets, fill out our check and the amount that it's for, put it in the envelope that they gave us, and send it to the IRS. That way, at the end of the year, we don't have to worry about paying this huge lump sum out of pocket.
Yeah, for sure. Well, roughly 30% is $2,270. So we know that of the 7,600, 2,300 roughly are not our dollars, right? So if you take that out, our cash profits are roughly $5,200, which for part-time plusers, I mean, imagine your bank account and your living situation. Could you do some damage to your debt if you made an additional $5,000 selling online? I think you could. So I'm very happy with that. The other 2 numbers I want to cover are the average gross sales. So per transaction, we averaged $51 every single time we sold something, and our net was $27.70, which is pretty good. We shoot for 30, so we're spot on, pretty close.
Yeah, we've been trying to push that net up every month, so it's good to have goals. It's okay if you don't always meet them. You still got to keep them and you still got to push for them. So we're still going to be pushing with that $30 in mind for next month as well.
and it was 9.79 sales per day, or roughly 10 items sold every single day, which
Yeah.
we're very proud of.
That's almost exactly 1%. of
Yeah,
mine,
for sure.
So that's it for our February sales video. We hope it provided some value and some insight into the income that you can generate and the things that you have to account for as a seller on platforms like eBay and Poshmark. That's gonna do it. So until next time, guys, take care.
Thank you so much. Later.